Tonight the Stars Revolt by Gardner F. Fox, originally published in Planet Stories, March 1952. Read by Jon Gill. Part 22. What was it Stazar had said of these pools? The pools are nothing more than atomic radiation, sheer energy, bottled up in vast chambers lined with stalahassel, ready for the use at any time. Ready for use. With the savage fury of the barbarian, Angus slammed the ring barrel of his faces, pressed in on him. They wanted him alive, and they gave him the precious moment that he needed. He whipped the electro-ray high in the air, swung it so the weighted power cord flailed high and far over the metal rim of the pool's collar. It dropped down and down into the black depths. Angus pressed the stud. A ravening stream of black mist shot from the ring nozzle. It touched the oncoming soldiers of the Dictor, touched them and ate them. When the black mist faded, the Dictor soldiers faded too. They were gone in that desolation of yawning street and crumpled walls. Where the black mist had touched, nothing remained. Tandor bellowed. The star pirates roared their glee. Angus moved the weapon and touched the stud again. The black mist fled upward, up one street, down another. When he was finished, there were no soldiers facing them. The streets to the citadel lay empty, beckoning. They went forward in a ravening wave of fury, the fury of roused fighting men who had looked the eyeless sockets of death's skull in the face and lived. The night held no more terrors for them, and their nostrils were tasting the fragrance of victory. Other men came up from the lower city to join them, men who bore homemade weapons, crude clubs and axes. Angus caught a sweat-streaked Tandor by the arm. "This gun!" The power cord that fell in the black pool. "That's what did it. It's a weapon of the elders. The pool feeds it, gives it power." "What matters that?" bellowed Tandor, shaking a new sword in his hand. "It worked." "But it won't work if I can't keep the power cord inside the pool." Tandor blinked, grunted as understanding came to him. "Huh. That's different. Pask, Gatel, Sonal. At the double, you riffraff, to me." He gave orders crisply, then swung to Angus. "They'll scour the lower city for copper wire. We'll couple an extension to the cord so you can take it wherever you want." Angus nodded. "Put a file of men on either side of it. Keep them there. Make them fight for the cord with their lives. If they fail us, we die." Tandor handpicked his men. Big men, all, with the scars of many battles, speaking their experience. The cord was slit, fitted with gleaming copper cable lengths, insulated and welded tightly. Weapons in hand, Red Angus led his rabble army up the stone-blocked roadway steps, upward from the mire and the filth of the lower city, upward to the clean, white reaches of the citadel. The Dictor's personal guards made a sortie against them, but the black mist swept them away. When the Hierarchs sent troops to join those of the Dictor, the mist swirled around them once and then blew away, leaving the citadel gardens empty of opposition. It was over. They walked through the gardens, into the halls and corridors of the palace. Men stood weaponless, fright tightening the lines of their faces. Tandor roared, "The Dictor, you foul hounds! Where is he?" Men pointed, and at the end of their fingers loomed the great golden bulk of the audience chamber. The Dictor and the Hierarchs stood before the ruby throne. They were beaten men, expecting death, their cheeks washed in ashen gray. Angus said, "If you harm the Stazar, you'll take a year to die." The Dictor gestured warily. "He's in chains, in the lower pits. We haven't harmed him. He would not translate the Book of the Nard. But even so, dead, he was useless to us. Alive, he might have changed his mind." He went on to explain how he had traced Angus's journey in the spectrograph, how his men had followed Angus's course in globe ships to bring the god of Kar to the citadel. He said, "You were beaten, whipped. My messengers told me that you were hemmed in, your men chopped to thumb bits. And yet you come here." Madness glinted in the Dictor's eyes. His right hand moved like lightning, and the blue metal of a dicentor caught fire from the soft luminescence of the walls. The Dictor was swift, but Tandor was faster. His hand blurred, and a glittering long sword jumped the 5 feet that separated them. It drove the dead body of the Dictor back 3 steps to the ruby throne. He fell at its base, and a pool of blood grew larger on the floor. The Hierarch shrugged and put a pellet in his mouth. The poison acted with incredible speed. He was falling as the chamber door opened and a gently smiling Stazar entered, leaning on his staff. Angus and Moana stood on the heights of the citadel and looked down at the lower city. They saw the thatched roofs no longer, but instead tidy houses, clean streets, and healthy children. Men and women walked with pride, their bodies clean, enjoying the new life that Stazar and the Book of Nard could bring them. It would take time, all that, but it would come. Moana moved gently. Her hand caught his. He turned her head up, and his lips settled on hers. 100 feet away, Tandor grinned. A martyr, I called him, he told the knight. He thought of a black-haired noblewoman who had been widowed in the night's fighting. Tandor rubbed his head again and chuckled. He tiptoed from the gardens. The end. Thank you for listening.